Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Skills and Abilities. So we're going to be going over a very interesting ability for the Paladin today. It is known as Holy Shield. Now Holy Shield is one of those amazing abilities that quite honestly just works so well that it sneaks its way into just about every single Paladin build. And there are reasons for this. And as we go over the ability, maybe you'll figure out that you want to sneak it into your Paladin builds too if you haven't been doing so. I actually usually recommend at least 1 point into Holy Shield on just about every single build for Paladin, and you'll see why. So it's important to note that Holy Shield actually changes the way that the Paladin's shield calculations work. So if you were to look up on the internet, type in something along the lines of Paladin shield breakpoints, you could come up with a website and it will show you the breakpoints for the Paladin. But you will notice that underneath of the Paladin's normal shield breakpoints, there is a second set of breakpoints that says with Holy Shield. And the with Holy Shield breakpoints are much better than the normal breakpoints. So for a Paladin, when a Paladin is in his non-Holy Shield form, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breakpoints. He starts out with a zero breakpoint, essentially, of 5 frames, which is very, very good. To give you a contrast on this, the worst breakpoint character in the game is the Bearform Druid, and the Bearform Druid has a 12-frame blocking. So the Paladin is literally more than 2 times faster than the Bearform Druid, with absolutely no increase to his blocking speed whatsoever. The Paladin does go from 0 to 4, from 5 to 4 with only 13 increased faster blocking, and with only 32 faster blocking goes from 4 to 3, and then he goes from 3 to 2 with 86% faster blocking, and to obtain 1 frame faster blocking, he would need 600 faster block rate, which is impossible. However, with Holy Shield, with a 0 faster blocking rate, your Paladin is going to be sitting at an amazing 2-frame block, which means that you literally, just by simply casting the Holy Shield ability, you have now obtained 2-frame blocking speed. Now, what does this mean? Well, when you block an attack, you have to do an animation. So you have to come in, you got to go to tink, and then your arm has to go back. All right? So it's called a blocking animation. Well, the faster you can do a blocking animation, the faster that you can block again. Because unfortunately, when you block an attack, you cannot do anything else in the meantime. So blocking an attack causes you to have a animation display, and then once that animation is finished, you can then go about your business and do your next attack, or block a subsequent attack coming in. If you were not finished with your block animation before the next attack comes in, then there's a very good chance it will have to hit you. If you don't have enough defense, or if you don't have enough blocking, or if you don't have enough evades or dodges or whatever's going on, I mean, you've got a lot of things going on, but if you're not finished with your block animation, you can't do anything else in the meantime. So having a faster block animation is definitely a good thing. And not only does Holy Shield bring your faster blocking up to 2 frames, it also makes it easier for you to hit 1 frame. So 1 frame faster blocking is only 86% faster blocking, which is achievable on a Paladin. It will take a little bit of work. You'll need some relatively nice equipment with high percent faster blocking, probably something like Templar, Guardian Age Templar coat, which has faster blocking on it, along with a relatively nice faster blocking shield. And you can usually hit that 86% if you try. But not only does Holy Shield increase your faster blocking, as well as give you a new set of faster blocking equations, it also increases your defense by a massive bump. So let me go ahead and show you this. So I'm just leaving and rejoining so that you can see what it's like without Holy Shield. And here's my character panel here, and you notice that my defense currently is 2,425. So 2,425 defense is not a lot. 2,425 defense is multiplied by Holy Shield of 385%, as you can see here. Holy Shield also increases my smite damage by a pretty massive amount. So if you take a look at your shield, you'll notice that my smite damage is 46 to 46 on the shield. We also have a successful blocking bonus of 36%. A whole lot of massive things that can be done here. So if you hold your mouse over the defense, you'll see your block chance. So the average chance a fallen will hit me is 40%. The chance to block is 35%. When I cast Holy Shield, you'll notice that my block chance goes up from 35% to 54% because I have an increase in my block chance. You will also notice that my defense has gone up from that piddly amount of defense to 11,761. And you'll also notice that my smite damage has gone up from 46 to 46 to 123 to 126. So the amount of things that Holy Shield does for you is amazing. Now, it does not have any effect if you're not wearing a shield. So if I were, for instance, to swap to a two-handed weapon, like the Spire of Honor Warpike, you'll notice that my defense goes down, and obviously I have no shield on, so the smite damage does nothing for me anymore. The defense bonus does not work also, so it only works if you actually have a shield on. Now, it's also important to note, though, that plus to skills will transfer when you swap weapons. So let me see if I can find a. I got a spirit here. It's a good choice. So we're going to put the spirit in our offhand, and see if we got any other plus to skill items. Just anything with plus to skills will work. Doesn't really matter. There we go. We got Heaven's Light. All right. So over here on this side now, on this side of the equation, I have Heaven's Light Mighty Scepter and a Spirit Monarch Shield, which is +3 and +2. So now my Holy Shield is level 30. If I cast my Holy Shield while I'm using this set and swap over to my other set with less plus to skills, I will maintain that higher level Holy Shield. You notice now I have 13,580 instead of what I had before, which was 11,000. This basically allows you to use your alternate weapon set as a buff stick for your Holy Shield. Now, early levels of Holy Shield actually have very pathetic duration, and we're going to take a look at that as well. So let me reset my points here real quick, and we're going to take a look at the Holy Shield ability in its infancy. So right now at level 2, you notice it only has a duration of 55 seconds, which is not very long, to be honest. 55 seconds is extremely short, and you will find yourself recasting it all the time. And with a rather high mana cost of 35, especially at lower levels, like when you first get this ability at level 20, 28? 24. When you first get this ability at level 24, 35 mana is a lot of mana. And as a paladin, you usually don't have a relatively large amount of mana, at level 24 when you get this ability. So having to recast it all the time can literally take your entire mana pool away from you. And this is a big downside. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sink more points into it. The more points that you have into it, the higher the duration gets. And you'll notice that eventually it gets to the point where it has a really long duration. And once you've maxed it out at 20 points, you'll notice that it's 530 seconds. And if we were to divide that out with a calculator real quick, you'll notice that 530 divided by 60 is a total of 8.83 minutes, which is a relatively long period of time. And of course, if we have some plus to skill equipment, we can get even more out of that. So I accidentally put all my points into strength. Did it again. So with plus to skill equipment, you'll notice that it goes even longer. And that's the cool thing, is that just with plus skill equipment right now, with a base of level 1, I have a current duration of 280 seconds with only plus to skills. And if I do max this out at level 30, my duration is 755 seconds, which is really darn sweet. And 755 divided by 60 is a total of 12 and a half minutes. 12 and a half minutes is a really long time for the ability of this, and it's definitely going to make it more of a passive ability than anything else. What's up, Mr. Knees? Mr. NiNi, he was sleeping in my shirt. He likes to sleep in my shirt. Now, Holy Shield also has a synergy with Defiance, which adds defense per level of 15% per level up to, what is it, 15 times 20. So a pretty large amount. Most people don't tend to build this on a Paladin, but we're going to go ahead and explore this anyway. So assuming that we had put 20 points into Defiance, our defensive capability of Holy Shield would go up pretty massively. And as you can see here, I have 17,277 defense, which is a really, really low chance for anything to hit me. Now, one of the things that I'll recommend to you guys is if you do build a Holy Shield Paladin, if your Paladin is going to use Holy Shield, you need to balance your block chance around Holy Shield. And I'm going to give you an example. So let's go ahead and exit the game real quick. And we're going to play around with block chance, and we're going to check and see how much dexterity it takes to hit our block chance cap, depending on whether we're using Holy Shield or not. And first off, we're going to do it without Holy Shield. So I'm going to go ahead and reset my points again. Let's get just enough that we can actually utilize all of our equipment. All right, so we have enough that we can utilize all our equipment. And if we put our, and I just did that wrong. If we, I need to hold on to my dex points, I'm sorry. All right, so we're going to hold on to the points, and I'm gonna build up my block chance. So if you hold your mouse over defense, you'll see that my block chance is currently 20%. I'm going to switch over to my dragon shield because that's going to be my main shield. So I'm at 21% chance to block. And I'm going to beef up my dexterity until I can hit 75%. And we're going to keep going. It's going to take quite a large amount of dexterity to hit that 75% block chance. And as you can see, with no Holy Shield, it has taken me a base value of 212 with a maximum value of 237 to hit the 75% block chance without Holy Shield, which is a lot of freaking dexterity. And we're going to do this calculation again with Holy Shield in the equation. And what you're going to find out is that once we add Holy Shield into the equation, it's going to take a lot less dexterity to hit that cap. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my Holy Shield. Actually, I actually need Holy Shield first, don't I? So we're going to go ahead and cap out Holy Shield. We're going to go over to our swap set. We're going to cast our level 30 Holy Shield and then go back to our regular set. And our current chance to block is 34%. So let's start plinking in our dexterity. And let's see how many points it takes us to get to the cap. It's also important to note that it does take more dexterity the higher level you are. A lot of people don't know this, but since my character is level 99 right now, this is the highest amount of dexterity that it will ever take for you to hit the block cap. So as you can see, it only requires 133 base value or a total of 158 with my plus dex equipment that I'm wearing. So a much lower value to hit the 75% chance to block with Holy Shield than without. Another benefit of Holy Shield allows you to get that higher block chance much, much, much easier. So as you can see from what we've gone over so far, Holy Shield is just an amazing defensive ability. It increases your defense by a massive margin as long as you're wearing a shield. It increases your block chance by a massive margin as long as you're wielding a shield. It allows you to put less dexterity in, which means that you can get away with lower dexterity and more vitality, which also acts as a defensive mechanic, which means that you can put more points into vitality and have more life. It also gives you a nice bonus to your smite damage, which means that you can be using a relatively crappy shield and still get decent smite damage for those times when you're trying to kill the Ubers and whatnot. There's just a lot going on with Holy Shield, which makes it an absolutely amazing ability. Defensively, it makes the Paladin much, much stronger. If I were to run this Paladin without Holy Shield, my defense would be only around 2,000 or 3,000 defense, depending on the kind of equipment I'm wearing. And 2,000 to 300,000 defense is going to get you killed in Hell difficulty. Trust me, I've played enough Paladins to know. You walk into a fight with, say, Hell Cows or something like that on Players 8, they will absolutely rip you apart with only 2,000 defense. A lot of people think that defense is not really that great of a mechanic, but when you're in the middle of combat on a regular basis and you're getting beat down by demons, trust me, a little bit of extra defense goes a long way to help keep you alive. Now, pretty much every single paladin should have this in their arsenal. The only paladins that I can think of off the top of my head that would probably not want Holy Shield is a two-handed paladin. So if you were one of those very rare two-handed paladins, then maybe you're using a Spire of Honor war pike or something like that. Maybe you've gotten yourself an amazing ethereal one, and you've double upgraded it, and you've zotted it, and you're running around charging everything, and you don't have a shield on. Then in that case, yeah, you're probably going to avoid using Holy Shield. But for any paladin who is using a shield at any point, Holy Shield is absolutely amazing and is absolutely worth using. I don't necessarily recommend beefing up Defiance, but 1 point in Defiance can certainly be nice, just simply to give you the synergy bonus. You're only going to get, of course, 1 point of the synergy bonus, which is 15%. But 15% can definitely be a nice little bonus to the defense. It's not going to be nothing. And because of the way that this works, it's not only beefing up the defense of your shield, it's also beefing up the defense of all of the items that you're wearing. You'll notice that if I take off my Laying of Hands Bramble Mitts, I lose way more than 87 defense. I go from 13,495 to 13,995. It is multiplying out the defense on everything. And this is one of the reasons why I've told people before that that small amounts of defense, while they may not seem like a lot, can actually have a very huge impact on the amount of defense that you have overall. Take, for instance, this Andariel's Visage helmet. Now, obviously, Andariel's Visage is the better helmet between the Giant Skull Bone Visage and the Andariel's Visage. But the defense on the Giant Skull Visage is only a little bit better. We're talking about 387 versus 444, which isn't really a massive difference. However, you'll notice that with my 13,995 defense, is going to go up pretty massively when I put this on. I go from 13,995 to 14,323. A lot more than the difference between the two helmets. This is why when people have a chance to upgrade something, and they can, I usually recommend that they do, especially if you're on a character that multiplies defense out. And this is something else that we need to cover before we finish this video. So you can multiply out defensive mechanics, like for instance, Holy Shield is one that can be multiplied out. You can also multiply out something like Fortitude. And let me go grab a Fortitude real quick, and we'll play around with that, shall we? Alright, so here I have a Fortitude. This is an ethereal Fortitude that's made for a mercenary, but pay no attention to this. If you were to make a Fortitude for your player, it obviously wouldn't be ethereal. Now, Fortitude has an interesting ability on it known as Chilling Armor. 20% chance to cast level 15 Chilling Armor when struck. So we're going to put this on, and you're going to notice my defense is 4,012. And I'm going to go out here, I'm going to get beat down a little bit, and I'm going to let that proc, and we're going to look at the defense here. So there we go. I've got my Chilling Armor proc. You can see clearly that it has activated because I have little ice crystals kind of forming around my character, right? And you'll notice that my defense is now 11,474 with the Chilling Armor proc. And this can be stacked with the Holy Shield proc. And now that I cast my Holy Shield, you notice my defense is now 25,115. Which is a really, really massive amount. And now the 87 defense that's on my Laying of Hands Bramble Mitts is doing a heck of a lot more than just simply 87. I'm going from 24,570 to 25,115. That's roughly about 500 defense for 87 defense. So this is the kind of thing that you really have to consider when you're thinking about Holy Shield's capability to increase your defensiveness. In fact, if we were to beef this up even further, let's go ahead and put some points into Defiance, and let's beef this up as much as possible. So we are now at 36,549 defense, and an 87 defense is now the equivalent of almost 1,000 extra defense on my character. So if I were, for instance, say I had like a pair of boots, like say Gore Riders, and I could theoretically upgrade them to the Myrmidon Greaves, but the defense bump from the from the Gore Riders to the Gore Rider Myrmidon Greaves is not really that great. And I'm looking at it like, well, it's only like 50 defense. It's not that big of a deal. Well, now that you're looking at it in a different light, where literally 50 defense can be the equivalent of almost a half 1,000 or 1,000 defense, depending on how you have your character built, this is the kind of thing that you have to take into consideration. Take, for instance, the difference between the Chains of Honor Archon plate and this Fortitude. The 2,000 defense on this Fortitude is massive. And 2,490 defense is being multiplied out by a massive number. I have 13,865 defense right now, and 2,490 is being multiplied out to almost 20,000 defense. Actually, I think it's a little bit more than 20,000 defense. 23,000 defense is how much that's being multiplied out to. And these are the kind of defensive mechanics that you have to keep into consideration when you're thinking about how much defense on a piece of equipment actually matters. Now, granted, defense is one of those stats that people tend to overlook, and they don't really think too much about. But what I am trying to say is that when you are deciding whether or not you want to upgrade a piece of equipment for 20 extra defense or 50 extra defense or whatever it is, think about the fact that it is going to be multiplied out by abilities like Holy Shield, Chilling Armor, Iron Skin on the Barbarian. There are a lot of different abilities that can affect your defense, like, for instance, Shout on the Barbarian as well. So if you're a Cry Barbarian and you have Iron Skin, you've got Shout, you've got all these amazing abilities. Maybe you're running a Fortitude, you've got Chilling Armor, you're a Paladin, you have Holy Shield. Whatever it may be, these defensive multipliers can multiply out small amounts of defense to be very, very massive numbers. I think I've gone over Holy Shield enough, and I've talked about all the different nuances in the ability, from the smite damage increase to the defensive increases to the fact that it allows you to spend less points in dexterity, which can effectively mean more points in vitality. All of these things make Holy Shield an absolutely amazing ability to have, even if it's only just 1 point. Even if that's all you can afford, I would still recommend 1 point. Now, there is a big downside to Holy Shield, in my opinion, and that is, of course, that it requires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points just to get to it. And if you are in a build that has a very tight amount of points, maybe you're having trouble with synergies or whatever's going on, and you've got a lot of point investment, sometimes getting down to Holy Shield can be a really costly endeavor, but I think that you will find that it's worth it nonetheless. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and so does Mr. NiNi. Isn't that right, sir? You don't want to talk today. All right, fine, don't talk. And as always, keep watching.